There are a lot of myths out there. I don't even think I have time to go through all of them, but here's a big one for you folks. After over 3 decades of defending criminal cases here in Central Florida, I see tons of people with this mythical misunderstanding of how charges work in Florida. That is, they think that if the victim doesn't want to press charges, that the state will just drop the charges. This is a myth I hear all the time. Well, she doesn't want to press charges, so won't this case go away? The answer is, I don't know where that urban myth came from. I understand the concept, but that is simply not true. Please do not fall for this. There are people in jail, in prison right now with victims that did not want to press charges, that did not want to testify. A friend of mine who is now a personal injury attorney, he was once a defense attorney like me, and he went to trial on a punishable by life crime where the pregnant alleged victim loved and didn't want him to go to jail and didn't want him to go to prison, and it was his first offense. And I believe it was Judge Caney that said, "Thank you, victim, for saying you didn't want to press charges. I don't care, you get life. Next case." The guy got life on a first offense. She was crying, she was sobbing. He thought that just because she didn't want to press charges, that somehow this whole thing was going to go away, that somehow he wasn't going to get life. It was like one of these bogus life cases where it's like a burglary of a conveyance where you busted into a window, like trying to get her to stop driving or something, and it's like a battery. It's almost like a carjacking, but it was really a domestic situation, and it was a domestic argument, etc., etc. My point is, don't believe the hype, okay? That is simply not true. Folks, you need to lawyer up in these situations. We lawyers have a lot to say and a lot to do to make the victim's voice heard in a proper way. Too often, the myth is, why do I need to do anything? She doesn't want to press charges. She could just call the state attorney's office. This is going to go away. It's not going to go away. In Central Florida, they don't care. They might care about their victims, but they don't run the ship. It is the state of Florida versus a defendant, not the alleged victim gets to do whatever they want versus the defendant. That is not how they work. And there are lots of examples of people in prison like, I know you didn't want to press charges. I know you told the state you didn't want to press charges, but here I am in prison. So don't believe that myth. That myth is not true. It takes a lot of work on a defense attorney's part to get the state to listen to the victim, number one. Number two, to get the victim to explain things in a way that the police didn't want to hear. The police do not want to hear bad things about their case, right? It is up to we defense attorneys to drag it out of witnesses some facts that maybe they didn't want to hear. I know there was a case a little while ago where they were indicting somebody for a death penalty murder, and the eyewitness picked the shooter out of a photo lineup. They're going for the death penalty and all that. Now, then they asked the eyewitness later, tell me more about this photo. You picked him out of a photo lineup. Yeah, but what I told the cop was that looks exactly like the guy, but a younger version of the guy. It's not the guy, but I circled him because it's exactly like him if that guy were younger. But the guy that actually shot him's older. You cannot trust the system to do the right thing. You cannot trust the cops, no offense, to do the right thing. They are doing their job, some of them as good as they can. The prosecutors, they really don't care either. So the judges, they've got a huge docket. You have one person on planet Earth that is going to care enough to get you out of this. Please, like a barber telling you that you need a haircut, you do need a haircut. You need an attorney on your side because the myth is just a myth. They will press charges even though the alleged victim does not want to press charges. Just keep that in mind. And if something happened to you in Central Florida, of course, that's what I'm here for. I hope that you'll give our office a call because we can help you out. We've been helping a lot of people just like you for over 3 decades. If you're just watching to enjoy some knowledge, I appreciate that. I do that all the time. If you would, help us out by clicking something positive on the screen. And thanks again for watching.